Welcome to Tech Talk Simplified. I'm Wally Gustafson. I lead innovation and artificial intelligence at Reese USA. Today's topic is, what is TensorFlow? By definition, TensorFlow is an open source library created by Google researchers for machine and deep learning. It allows you to build and train various types of neural networks, including convolutional neural networks, or CNNs, or recurrent neural networks, RNNs. We'll touch on both of those networks in just a moment. But this is Tech Talk Simplified. Simply put, TensorFlow is a software library that helps developers build machine learning models. Think of TensorFlow as a toolbox for building machines that can learn. Just like you need different tools to build different types of things, TensorFlow provides a variety of building blocks that you can use to create your own custom machine learning models. Let's look at 3 potential AI use cases that could be built on TensorFlow. First, image recognition. TensorFlow can be used to train models that can recognize objects in images. Next, we have natural language processing. TensorFlow can also be used to train models that can understand and generate human language. Last up, recommendation systems. TensorFlow can be used to create systems that can suggest products, services, or contents based on a user's past behavior. One well-known AI tool, at least in the AI world, that was used creating TensorFlow is Google's AlphaGo. AlphaGo is an AI-powered computer program that was developed to play the board game Go. Now, if you're anything like me, you might be asking, what's the board game Go? Well, the game of Go is a complex and abstract strategy board game for 2 players, where the aim is to surround more territory on the board than their opponent. When you look at the board, it'll remind you a bit of chess or checkers. However, in the game of Go, you start with no playing pieces, and you add them one at a time. Once a piece is added, it cannot be removed. And get this, Go has more possible moves than all the atoms that exist in the universe. That's over 100 sextillion options. AlphaGo made headlines in 2016 when it defeated the world champion of Go in a 5-set match. And it all started on TensorFlow. At the beginning of the talk, I mentioned convolutional neural networks, or CNNs, and recurrent neural networks, or RNNs. If you're asking yourself, what's a neural network? Good news. I've already created a tech talk on neural networks, and I'll include a link to that talk in the show notes. Let's take a moment to learn a little bit more about these networks. A CNN is a specialized artificial neural network designed specifically to process pixel data and is used in image recognition and processing. CNNs work by analyzing small pieces of an image called features and learning to recognize patterns in these features. These patterns can then be used to identify objects in the image. To give you a real-world example, let's say you wanted to build a CNN to identify dogs in photos. The CNN would be trained on a large data set of dog images, where each image is labeled dog or not dog. During the training, the CNN learns to recognize features of a dog, like its ears, eyes, nose, or tail. Once the CNN is trained, it can be used to classify new images as either dog or not dog based on the patterns it has learned. RNNs are a type of neural network commonly used in natural language processing and speech recognition. They work by processing data one element at a time while also maintaining a memory of the previous elements in the sequence. This allows them to recognize patterns in that sequence and make predictions based on that text. Let's say you wanted to build an RNN to predict the next word in a sequence. The RNN would be trained on a large data set of sentences, where each sentence is broken down into a sequence of words. During the training, the RNN learns to recognize patterns in the sequence of words and can predict the most likely next word based on the previous words in that sentence. Once the RNN is trained, it can then be used to generate new sentences based on the patterns it's learned. An AI tool that uses a RNN that you've probably heard of? ChatGPT. Let's recap what we've learned today. TensorFlow is a software library that helps developers build machine learning models. It's kind of like a toolbox for building machines that can learn. 3 types of AI tools you can build using TensorFlow are image recognition, natural language processing, and recommendation engines. CNNs, or convolutional neural networks, are a specialized type of artificial neural network designed specifically to be used in image recognition and processing. RNNs, or recurrent neural networks, are commonly used in natural language processing and speech recognition. And that's it. You're a pseudo TensorFlow expert. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.